Hi, it's Linda from Linda's Paperworks. We all know that Christmas is just around the corner, and lots of creators on YouTube have been making Christmas videos for maybe even a month or longer. I'm just not the kind of person that likes to get into Christmas before it's December, to be honest. If it's still November, I'm still thinking about Thanksgiving and all the good food we're going to be eating. If I don't make this now, then I can't have it out in time for December, so I'm jumping in here. I'm not going to make a new Christmas journal this year. I made this daily December 2 years ago, and it still has blank pages in it. It has some pages that have some other things in it besides Christmas things. It's just kind of a jumble, but I thought I'd do a flip through of it today and show you that it doesn't really matter if you start something and don't quite get finished with it. You can go back to it later and add different other things to it. And it's still an interesting journal. It's still a snapshot of your life, and so that makes it important. This journal has a file folder cover on it with a flap here. And I just tied this elastic. I think this is like to make hair ribbons for little girls or whatever. But it worked out great for this. The color was pretty good, except if you look at the back of it, that's really purple. But when it's just on there, it's fine. Anyway, this flap closes the journal. Both of these fabrics were remnants that I found at Walmart, and this one is kind of a garden theme. It says Amour des Jardins down there, but this says La Joie de la Vie, the joy of life, and I thought that was really nice for a Christmas journal. And this says Glorious here. I had to kind of cut out of the middle of the fabric to get those words where I wanted them. In the back, it just has, I don't know, I don't speak French, so I don't know exactly what all it says. But anyway, I thought it made a pretty cover for the journal, and then I put the ticking fabric on the inside. And I did a hidden spine in this one where I sewed the pages into a piece of file folder, which I had covered in this fabric. And then I glued that strip. It was twice that wide. Where the lace is where it came to on each side. I sewed the book in to that piece, and then I glued that piece to the back, which I had covered with this fabric. And then I put the ticking fabric on the inside and added the lace there. So that's the construction of this book. And I'm just going to do a quick flip through of what I had done. Maybe I can remember to tell you which ones I did at the time and which ones I did way later. This was a napkin, a Christmas napkin that I just took one layer of and Mod Podged it on this page, just as kind of an intro page. I thought at one time I might add some words up there, but I had never decided on any. Blank page I hadn't gotten around to. This was the December 1st. I started out good. I started doing my little writing in here and some little illustrations and stamps and things, having fun with it. December 2nd, I also did pretty well. I did a little watercolor kind of picture down there. Then it was the 15th before I got back to it, and I just did a kind of a collage with everything that was on my desk. And so that's what that ended up being. And it's all pink, which is kind of interesting. It kind of goes with the pink I put in the clouds there. That was a really beautiful sunset, and I was kind of trying to capture it, which I didn't do a very good job of, but it reminds me of it. So I did the 15th and the 16th, so that's 2 more days together. And I think that's where, well, I don't know, I may have done a few more things, but anyway, this is scraps from an apron that I made for a friend. And then just vellum with buffalo check print on it. This was wrapping paper from a friend, a gift from her. And on the 18th, I went shopping, and I stopped at Tuesday morning, and I bought some stamps sets. I think this is one, that's a separate one. And maybe 3 stamp sets, 3 or 4 stamp sets. So I was trying them out on that page. And that was a die cut that also I bought that day. A die. A die cut is the paper. A die is the thing, but I always end up saying die cut. And then I just wrote down about what decorations I used for Christmas that year on this page, and I I think I had been stamping off my ink on that page, so it has a lot of brown on it. And I have a little tuck there for just a little decoration underneath that to go with Christmas house, and this a house there representing our house. And that goes back into that little deal. I used a stamp that I had to stamp the pine cone, and then I used watercolor to make the leaves. And I had gotten a box at Joann Fabric. They were giving away free after Christmas one day when I was in there, a box per customer. And so I got one about this big that has some pine cones and things on it. And so I was copying that. And this is a reproduction postcard that I just made a flip out for that. Didn't write anything there yet. I wrote about Christmas Day. This was some cocktail napkins that our niece had. And I thought that was funny and I liked it, so I put that in and decoupaged it. Then we had gotten a lot of handmade soap at various times during the year, and so, well, this was even the next year that I bought this one at the local art fest. And this still smells really good. I can still smell it when I open up this journal. But I just wrote a little bit about where we got the soap and things. I just love handmade soap. It's so personal and such a neat gift. This was a page out of a Christmas cookbook, decorating book. Vellum that I stamped on another blank page. And the blank page was just a stamp on it. That might be a good one to put a tab on, so I might, let's see if I have a paper clip. Let's put a paper clip here to think about putting a tab on that. Then I started doing collages, following Marguerite Miller's prompts. And I have several pages of that. They're not in the right order. I think I've started way back over here somewhere. I did. This was the first one I did. And then I did that one, and then I did this one. Anyway, they're out of order, but that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing those. I'd come in on Sunday afternoon and just do a little bit of collaging, and the challenge of making something that goes together from the prompts that she gives. For instance, this one is a photograph, a barcode, handwriting, text in a different alphabet, a thing, and a clothing label. So these were my things. This was bread. I don't know what those things are called. So that was a thing in my handwriting, and a picture out of a magazine, and some labels off of clothing and different things. Anyway, I did a page on, we had a little snow flurry, and our neighbor children were out in the front yard just rolling in the snow. It's so cute, so funny. And so I adapted this to say kids dashing through the snow, and put some snowflakes on there. That was another collage page, and that was the last one. And it said a key, so I used an actual key. I had fun with that. They had made a little pocket that I closed with that, and then I put the prompt list in there. And it doesn't want to go back in too easily. There we go. So anyway, that was the prompt section there, and then I made a pocket with the other end of that page, and just had a few things stuck in there. And then we had our big freeze, and I documented the cold temperatures below freezing every day for 5 or 6 days. And then on February 21st, it warmed up to 45 degrees, so that was exciting. Anyway, I just wrote some things about it here and there and had fun with that. Wrote a little poem there. And then this was a letter that one grandmother wrote to my other grandmother. And she was talking in here about they'd be lonesome without the birds and the squirrels, and talking about the squirrels playing in the wood pile. And she said, we may have a snow as the birds are so thick. So that was one thing we had noticed about this time. There was hordes of robins, there were juncos, and that's why I wrote this little poem about that. Hordes of robins came with promises of spring. Juncos in their cutaway jackets flocked in, proving the robins wrong. So I found this letter after I had written this, and so it just made me feel close to my grandmother it had her letter, and I wanted to keep it here, and it's written on both sides, so I put it in a sleeve protector, page protector, and put washi tape. I sewed it around to protect it, and then I wrote about the letter and her sending it, and that page just has some doily on it. And then I wrote about Thanksgiving here with family. I made a mincemeat pie and I kept the label on that. And here's more blank pages and Christmas paper, and I did a flip out here. And I have a couple of old Christmas cards in this pocket. I think these were from this was from my mother's mother, and this I think was from my daddy's mother. So I'm not positive about that, but they both say season's greetings, and they're probably from about the same time. So I thought that was neat. I just wanted to keep them together in there and preserve them. And I probably could write something about it there if I would. And then this is just another one of those reprint Christmas cards. Christmas bells merrily ringing, happy hearts cheerily singing. And then on this page, this is an embossing folder I have with this plaid, I think it's called tartan, is the name of the embossing folder. It just reminded me of a garage door with the panels on it. So I decided I had some wrapping paper that had various vintage cars and trucks on it, and I picked this station wagon to go in the garage, under the garage door, and made a pocket behind that I slipped this motel postcard from, Mother got it in 1960. It just looked like it went with the old station wagon and the idea, and being home for Christmas, maybe you have to stop at a motel on the way. It just seemed fitting, so that's why I did that. And then I wrote just a little bit about our Christmas last year, and about the soaps that we got. This is a newspaper that was sewn to the back. Somebody was, during World War II, they were making quilt blocks, and there was a stack of them that never got made into a quilt. My sister-in-law came upon these and gave them to me, and I was looking for newspaper to use, and I found this one, and it was so interesting to me. I just decided I was going to just preserve it in a pocket protector, a sheet protector. It says, Britain removes frills from women's undies. I don't know exactly when this is, but I'm pretty sure it was during the war, maybe 42 or something. And it has, on the back, it has a grocery store ad. Flour, a 24-pound bag of flour is 89 cents. Can you imagine? And handkerchiefs for 10, 15, and 25 cents. Chocolate-covered cherries. And that's all I have of it, but I like it and I kept it. So that's why it's in the book. So, I still have a few pages, and I decided that I would add a pocket to this page and a tag to stick in the pocket. And I thought I'd do that with you today. So I've gone ahead and I made, I'm going to use the ticking fabric, and I cut it out with a rounded edge, and then I stitched around it, and it's kind of puckering a little bit. But it's going to go here. And I'm going to glue it down. I kind of drew the shape. I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to glue it to the back of this. So it doesn't have to be too perfect, but I'm going to try to make it fairly straight as I go around it. This is just a mailer that came in the mail, a postcard. Okay, let's see. Now, can I get it where it's going to go on here and be... Need to trim that off just a little bit more right there. I'd be interested to know if you have started a Christmas journal for yourself this year, or made one to give to somebody else. You can leave me a note in the comments if you like to tell me what your plans are for Christmas journal making. I'm going to cut this again because it's a little bit closer than I want it to be. kind of hard to get it right, but it's not going to show, so I just want it to be a little bit straight. Okay. And I could use this side, but since I have the bright side in this one, I'm going to glue it to this side and use the bright side. And I'm using Fabri-Tac. And I'm just going to hide this text on here on the inside. And nobody will know that it was a piece of junk mail. But it makes it authentic junk mail. Okay, I'm just going to put that right down in that corner, if I can. Like that. I just wanted to put the paper on the back to make the fabric stiffer so it'd be easier to take in and out whatever I put in the pocket. I'm going to make a tag to put there, but I want it to be easy to take it in and out of the pocket. And the way I cut that is I just took a saucer and put it down on the paper and drew the line. And then it kind of fringed out right there, so it's a little bit fringed there. I'm not sure about those strings. They may have to go away. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. Oops. Might be helpful if I went straight. Okay. I'm going to let the fray edges stick over the edge just a little bit, but I don't want it to go too far. I don't know about those strings. I may have to cut those off, or tie them, or twist them together, or something. Okay, so we've got a little corner pocket there now, and it could have something up there, and I might come back later and put something there. But I thought I would make a tag. And I have this 6x6 pad of Home for Christmas is the name of it. I got this at Hobby Lobby, I think, sometime. And I decided that I liked both of these. I don't know which one I want to use. This is Santa's Christmas list, which I think would be kind of cute. I have Santa here. And then the flowers, that's kind of a similar flower there. And the colors go with it. So, decisions. Either one would be fine. I think I'm going to go with this one just because it's brighter and adds more color to it. So I'm going to set that aside for a moment. Although I do want to decide how wide I want to make the tag. I think about that wide would be good. So I will put that over here. Get my paper cutter. Let's see how wide I'm making this. It's a little over 3 inches wide, so about 3 1/4, I believe. And if it's too wide, I'll just trim it off some. And that leaves that hole there, and I also have the perforation there that I will need to deal with some way. Actually, if I cut the tag into a tag shape, that would take care of the hole. And I could take that off, but I kind of like the contrast there, so maybe I'll just put some gold trim or something to go across that. And that's not going to be wide enough to take care of the hole I cut, so maybe I should have cut this one first. See if I can figure this out. If I put it where it's even with that side and the top, that should be about right. Oh well, whatever it is, it'll be fine. It's kind of a tall tag. clip these just a little bit down here. This is one of the trims I got when I was in Mina. And instead of just holding on to it and thinking, oh, it's still in the package, I'm going to go ahead and open it up and use some of it. I have enough hoardy things already. This is kind of a cool label. See if I can find the end. I think what I'm going to do, since this has those very strong folds in it, I'm just going to clip that right there and just cut it. I don't know if I want it stuck out or not, but I'll trim it. So I'll just cut it right there. And we'll glue that across there. Okay, I'm just going to cut that off even that way and this way. Since I have this bling in other places in the journal, I think I'm going to add just a little bit up here or maybe down here. I don't know. But just less than a whole row of that. Cut these little ends off. Do I want it there or do I want it down below? I wish you could tell me what you think. I think I might put it down there just to balance that. Do we think 4 is too many? Should be 3. No, I think I'm going to do 4. And then I'm going to need to put a topper on this too, so I need to be thinking about what I'm going to do for that. Maybe some lace. Okay. See what I can find to put on the topper here. Okay, that looks about right there. And oh, I'm going to add this to that. That didn't stick in there. Okay, I'm just going to clip the edges off of this. This is Plan B. My lace topper didn't work out. Okay, I'm gluing that down. I think this is about out of glue. But we'll see if there's enough here. I'm not going to have it sticking up very far over the top of it. I'm just going to have it just on there, kind of flat. Okay, I've had it with this glue. Maybe I'll come on down below that, just to like that. And then I'm going to put something over that. Maybe I'll just put that over that, just cut that out and put it there. That. These little houses on here. Okay, here's our tag. I think the top is crooked, but I maybe can disguise it with something. I may stick a flower on there or something if I can find one that suits me. And it can go in this pocket right here, like that. I think it needs a word or something on it. It looks kind of plain, even though it's got that big print. I was having some problems with my tag, so I decided to stop the camera and do some work on it and then come back. So in the meantime, I've done some other things too. So I'll show you what I've done. I added, this is a, it's the top part of an ornament, like you hang on a Christmas tree, a ball, a bauble, like this piece, like that part up there. And I flattened it out and put it behind this fabric flower and put a button in the middle and have the strings kind of sticking out there a little bit. And then on the back, I covered that up with a piece of lace and a little bit of that top part again, turned it the right way, and stamped Merry Christmas on there. Merry Christmas is a little bit crooked, but I think it's that way on the stamp, so it's just the way it is. It's fine. And then as I was rummaging around for things, I found this wish list and decided to glue a piece down to a piece of paper, and it's a little bit bumpy. I glued it to some coffee dyed paper, so it's kind of wrinkled. But anyway, I put that on the paper and put it in this pocket with the tag. And I think that looks cute together, and it kind of ties in with this side better, I think. And then the other thing I did was I decided to add some tabs to some pages. And I used the fabric, the cover fabric. And I decided I had a little Christmas tree charm left over that I had to search to find, but I finally did. And one of those tiny little jingle bells that was my mother's and some of her craft stuff. And I thought the tree would be cute with this tree. It kind of hangs down low, but anyway. And I put it on one of those bulb pins. There. And then I added a few other tabs. This one has, I used the inside fabric there, but I turned it the wrong way, so it was the duller side of it. Just for variety, I guess. And I put a jingle bell and a little piece of braid and some beads there on that bulb pin. And then on this page, I used a piece of embossed paper with this faux script on it, just as a little decorative tag at the bottom of that page. And let's see, I think there's one more. Oh, here it is. I just put this, this is the fabric that I have here. So I put that just as a narrow tab there and have some lace on this side just to decorate it up a little bit. So that's everything I've done to it this afternoon. And I still want to glue that down. So anyway, that is my very long December daily book. It's taking me a long time to get it even halfway close to finished. Well, it's more than halfway. To get it mostly finished, I'll say. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.